Welcome visitors. Are there any remarks that the visitors would like to make at this time? Good morning, Christine. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I have a question regarding the middle school. I'm wondering if there's any historic preservation easement placed on the school. Currently, if the property is going to go up for sale, and it's a deed restriction. When you Google Clinton, that's one of the first things that comes up. It really sets a sense of place as to where we are, and if we continue to demolish our historic properties, we're going to really lose a sense of place and identity of our town. I just think it's an important building to keep as part of our history, and I hope that you'll consider that when if any sale of the property comes up.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for mentioning that. Anybody else like to speak?
Yes,
Hi, good morning.
good morning. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Jeff.
I'd like to make a few comments, some things I agree with, and some concerns and possibly some solutions for the water main up Rocky Hill. I've read the report from CDM Smith, and they're right. To solve the problem up there, you need to bring a water main up there. I think that's the correct solution. However, there's a couple of ways to get that done. Let me step back. In the history of this country that I know of, and all the jobs I've worked on and towns I've lived in and across the country, as an example, when a subdivision goes in, the developer develops the site. He puts in gas, water, electric, distributes that cost onto the lots. And then when the person buys the house, he essentially is paid for all the utilities that brought in the house, including the water. That's the way it's normally done. I haven't seen it done any other way. Secondly, when we have a problem that we have there up in Rocky Hill, I disagree with the point of having the whole town pay for that. There's other solutions available, and I really understand, I have empathy for the people up there, don't get me wrong. But there's other examples on the shoreline, and I've seen around the country, that the problem can be solved without having the whole town pay for it. You know, you can get grants, help them get grants, get a 20-year loan, and they have to pay for it, unfortunately. When I came into the town, I lived in Guilford for 20 years and moved away, and I came back here. And I retired here. And before I bought my house, I dug up, I made 3 bids on houses in this town. And before I bought, I paid my own expense to have the septic system inspected and dug up by professionals. And 3 of the 4, the one I finally bought, the septic's fine. I had problems with the septics, and I said to the owner, well, that's your problem. I'm not going to pick up your problem. Please fix it. And they said no, and the deal walked away. So I have personal experience working in the town trying to find a home with good septic systems. The point I'm making, it's my responsibility as a buyer in the town when I buy the house to make sure that the septic system is okay. All right? I don't expect the town to pay for it or the real estate agent. So there's solutions to the problem. Sewers up there would be very cost prohibitive. That's understandable. So when I look at this report, some possible solutions, I brought my concerns and my objections, but I come with possible solutions. I know that the first selectman and people probably have already talked to the water company, but I suggest that we go back to them, have a meeting with the CEO, with the first selectman, and get the state representatives involved and put some pressure on those people to come up with more money. That can be done. You have some leverage. Secondly, when you look at this report, whoever paid, when we paid for this report, it's about a year and a half old. I've been in construction and engineering, I've been doing it all my life for large companies and large reports like this. They're a very good company, but what they sold you was one solution, sewers. They didn't think out of the box and try to come up with some different solutions for you. Like looking up and down at the towns on the shoreline, what did they do to solve their problem? What did Guilford, Branford, Old Saybrook, Westbrook? There's new technologies out there. There's nowhere in this report that shows that. And I'm saying, well, we paid a lot of money for it, okay. There's enough drains in this town where we can go out and do that. I'd be willing to help. But Old Saybrook has a high density in their town. High density. And they must, I don't know the facts yet, but I'm sure that this gentleman, because I got to know this guy when I was trying to buy homes here, in the Connecticut River Health District at Old Saybrook, they must be doing something different, okay? And I say that in the bigger picture, when I look at this report, this town has some issues coming up that they're gonna have to address with sewers. And it's gonna be a big problem. Rocky Hill's just a small nod problem. So, I don't think it's even conceivable that you'd expect the whole community to pay for the problem at Rocky Hill. My sympathy and my understanding the problem they have, and it's a lot of money. But we have to come up with other ways to solve the problem. I gave you some suggestions, and I hope you consider it and come up with different ways to, instead of just have everybody pay for it. I mean that's what people in Sweden do, in Norway, you know, in Venezuela. It's called socialism. I'm sorry, folks, that's what it is. You know, you ask the whole company, the whole town to pay for a few people. It doesn't work. So I thank you for your time and hope you consider my points good, bad, and ugly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Would anybody else like to continue?
Sorry.
Tricia White, 52 Jefferson Circle in Clinton.
Good morning.
Points well taken. To me, it feels like unjust enrichment, asking the entire town to pay to improve people's property. When I moved to Clinton, I did my due diligence. I looked at Rocky Ledge. I'm not a scientist, but I can read. I figured out there are a lot of problems over there, didn't go there. I don't feel it's right to push another cost on the people in Clinton. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak this morning?
If I may, already a lot of time's been taken, but I would like to first of all, I passed out, just to remind you, I see that you agreed to sell the property on Glenwood, and you're talking about extending a utility. I believe that requires a report from the Planning and Zoning Commission 8-24, which I passed out to you, and I presume you will follow that.
We have already.
Have you? You've already got an 8-24 on both of these properties? Okay, good. I'm sorry?
Last fall.
Okay. On Glenwood or on the utility too? On both of these? Extending the utility?
It's not in the utility.
The water main, extending the water main. Do you have one on the
It's not a
water?
water main.
He's talking two separate things.
I'm talking. Do you have one on the water main? Okay. Okay, the other thing is that there is a stalemate in Hartford. There's no end in sight to this budget stalemate. And we are now $6 million reduced state funding, which is the equivalent of 6 hurricanes without any first responders, without any FEMA reimbursement. This is a man-made crisis, a man-made disaster. I brought it to your attention a month ago. The neglect to address it, I consider abject. The fact that we are here today talking about spending $5.1 million on top of the 10.2% tax increase, while we have a $3.3 million funding hole, and you haven't had one meeting to address this crisis. that I'm aware of. This is really a very big problem, and it requires leadership. It can't wait for the next election. I've been around collecting signatures, and I can tell you that people in this town are angry, they're desperate, and they're hurting. And you are sitting here doing nothing about it. And I think you need to be aware that if they could, they would throw you all out. Because of the RTC renominating incumbents, that's impossible. I think the DTC got it right when they did not nominate any incumbents. But this should be an anti-incumbency year. And you have 5 months in which you can show some leadership. It's left in your term of office. And I implore you to do so. Not for politics, but for the good of this town.
All right, thank you. Bruce, can I make another suggestion? On this report, if you do another one, obviously, whoever from the town was managing this report, it was before, I think you or whatever, the people here, whoever was managing this report did not give these people adult supervision. Me being from this industry, you know, you must have paid over $1 million for this report. I don't know what, it was a lot of work. And they sell you man hours. So if someone from the town, when you get in a similar situation, if you have these reports, you have to manage these people and say, you know, we're paying you, the obvious one is to have sewers, I'm just using this example. But give some other ideas outside the box. And that doesn't look like it was done here. That's all I'm saying in the future. Thank you.
All right, any other comments? Thank you all for your comments. All right, motion to approve the minutes of July 26, 2017.
It's at 19. July 19th. Today's the 26th. Oh, it's,
Second.
oh geez, I got a 26th.
July.
Yeah.
Last week.
There.
You had
You weren't even there.
That's right, I was there.
You weren't.
Hey, I'm all off. Baseball's over 5 minutes.
I'll second this.
Any discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
That's it.
Yes. Motion carries. Resignations and appointments. Hearing none at this time, we move to item 5. Appropriation and bond authorization of $5,150,000 for the Rocky Ledge area water main project. For starters, we'll need a motion to approve the appropriation and bond authorization for that amount.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion.
This just goes to, this is our resolution, correct?
Correct.
Prior to going to town meeting.
Correct. And the additional cost of $250,000 is relative to the cost for insurance, such as blasting and everything else that's involved in this project.
Wouldn't that be incumbent on the contractor to have that insurance, not the town? Typically, when a contractor bids it out, they're on the hook for all that, not
I believe
the
there's
contracting agency.
I'm pretty sure there's certain liabilities that still go to the town. We have the,
I've never dealt with that. Huh?
we
It's
have
the cost of issuing the bond and advertising and bond council. Your town would pay for the, what you're gonna add, project bond on it. It'll be part of their bid, but we still pay for the bond, so.
That's been my history around the country. You asked the contractor to bid when I was working. Okay, Clinton or Hartford.
I have to stop you, I'm sorry, you had your chance.
So, I mean,
Okay.
that's
Trying to help.
anticipated in the budget.
I do believe that there is some liability that still goes to the town. So if this is approved by our board today, next the authorization would go to the Board of Finance, to be approved on the 21st of August. Then to a town meeting on October 25th for discussion basically, and then at that meeting, the authorization is moved to a referendum vote on November 11th.
So October 25th, that's the public hearing, correct?
Correct.
Public hearing
It's
slash.
more,
Slash town meeting.
right, it's more of an informational meeting than anything else, because nobody will be voting at that.
Can't have it more than 14 days before the referendum.
Correct. And to be clear, as we've stated in the past, any monies received from grants or from the Connecticut Water Company will be used to offset town costs. Any further discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have one abstention. Carol? Motion carries. Selectmen's reports. Mr. Fritz?
Just one thing. Got some flack.
You too?
I got some flack. Apparently, I guess Park and Rec on their own decided to ban out-of-town residents at the beach on weekends. Yeah, they can't do that without coming here. I don't think we can ban out-of-town residents, we can charge them, but I don't think we can ban them at all because we receive state grants and this and that. It's a public property. So according to their website, and I caught from some people down there, two things. I caught flack because the concession stand continues to close and not being manned like it used to be. And then the other part was that people come down on the weekends, they can't get in because they're banning out-of-town residents, and it says it right on their website. So I don't know if you want to talk to Bo about that, but.
Well, I do know some of the closures were due to like nobody using it on.
Yeah, it's weather related, but there's been days, and I was there last Friday or Friday morning, the place was packed, and it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was nobody, and it was closed down.
There was some flack too, and it turned out to be Glenwood residents who definitely can use it.
Yeah, but it should, and even on anybody should be able to use it. There's a separate fee, you can't just close it down out-of-town residents,
Right.
so.
And baseball season.
That's, well, I'm done, thank you. For at least 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm so happy I don't have to do it.
Lynn?
I would just like to address the gentleman. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
You?
Sir?
Look at me?
Yeah.
Michael Hughes.
Hi. So I just want to assure you, I was chairman of Water Pollution Control for many years before Mr. Kennedy was, and Mr. Dolman. I was involved from the beginning with CDM, and I can assure you without doubt, every single option that could have been on the table was thoroughly researched, including the Zebra solution, including what they've done at Deep River, including going back to what previous engineers had discussed. I was intimately involved in that meeting after meeting. The facilities plan you're looking at now is a result of probably what, 10?
Third, no,
Well,
overall
no,
30
since
years.
we've really started on this path.
CDM's been contracted with us for at least 15 years.
So I just wanted to assure you that there has been adult supervision over CDM for many years, and this solution was not the only solution. And as a matter of fact, we have backed down from a complete sewerage of the town. Not complete, but the actual areas that would have been sewered, there's been a back down from that. So I just want to assure you that I don't want you to think that that document was just something that CDM, I'm not asking you to respond. I just want to let you know that other options were on the table, and this we believe, and I can probably speak for Matt, this I believe is the best solution that Water Pollution Control police to put forward to the town. Other things were considered, not just means of the solution, but also cost effectiveness of the solution. All of those things were factored in. So I just wanted to respond to that, just having the knowledge from the inside of that. So that's all I
Well,
wanted to say.
can I just say, I do agree with the report for Rocky Lake, the most economical way to do it is the water main. When I said my other points in contradict of it. But I don't see all those other options in here, but you may have discussed it.
They were all there, and the minutes are all, I mean, I don't know how much time you have, but all the minutes are available online.
It's not in the report.
But it's in
But
the
all
overall
the minutes-
facilities plan. It's in the
That's just a
facilities plan.
But all the work we did would have been volumes. So I just wanted to.
Because I agree with the results of Rocky Lake, not how to solve the problem cost-wise. Okay?
Also, I would encourage you to speak to the chair of WDCC who can inform you to a much further
And
extent.
I went to their meeting last week, yes, I did.
But aside from that, I don't have anything.
All right. Sir John?
Very good.
Ms. Carroll?
Outside of the water pollution thing, okay?
Okay. I have nothing further to add.
There's
she
one more
does.
thought.
Almost.
She doesn't-
Well, let's go faster.
Did you want to address Christine's comments?
Not at this time. I'm duly noted and thank her for it. Okay. Motion to adjourn. Second. In favor? Carries. Thank you all for coming today.